We need one location and one relative size so we can compare and contrast different structures. I call this the level playing field and have defined these limits as our first cycle of growth. To understand its practical value, we need to go back to the very beginning of natural design. First, you and me must interconnect into one local observer. We can do this by defining a location in common, our all-purpose center of everything. We then place our location on a measurable reality, so we define a timeline. Reality is always changing, growing, and a line with an arrow is the symbol of that growth. Our spines define a 90-degree perpendicular that allows us to orient ourselves within 4 directions: up, down, forward, and back. Finally, to begin to build our new structural measuring system, we need to define our BB belly button number. Instead of X, we will solve for BB. Like our navels are a cutoff notch from all genetic codes, BB is our cutoff number from all measuring before. All measurements will be relative to our BB scale number. We will choose BB equals 2 centimeters to define the radius of our first circle orbit, which begins design in nature. All growth will radiate out from this central location. When measuring distance with circles, always measure center to center. To build the first layer, add 2 BB circles to the timeline, creating a 2 BB, which equals 4 centimeter radius orbit around our center. We now have a pattern. To build the second layer, add 2 more BB circles on the timeline, defining a 4 BB equals 8 centimeter radius orbit. Add 2 more BB circles to the timeline, and we have reached my arbitrary limit of our center, 6 BB, which equals a 12 centimeter radius. This is our first example of the circle's ability to self-organize, building a relativity field that has defined size. We now want to begin to measure out from our center in all directions. To do that, we choose a regulation ping pong ball to be our you-me ball, because its radius will always be 2 centimeters. Same size spheres give us a push-off start into fundamental structure. We now see that our circles are really equators, defining the halfway line around spheres. Our perpendicular becomes an axis of spin, defining the 2 hands of spin, clockwise and counterclockwise. Let's rebuild our first 3 layers with spheres, while keeping on the same plane as the level playing field. What we discover is the first layer of spheres constructs a 6-sided hexagon. We will see the circle and the hexagon share the same abilities at self-organizing. To understand this final image, we need to explore deeper into the self-organization of circles to understand the 60-degree triangle information embedded in any circle, the subject of the next video.